What's going on tonight, guys? I thought I might start saying hey and howdy to everybody before we get started tonight. Try to fit everybody in tonight. So, Mark was in here first this evening. How are you tonight, buddy? I hope you're having a good evening so far. And Wayne is hanging out with us tonight, working on his 200 skill ships, not just his carriers tonight. So, you're going to have a rather large fleet sometime soon, buddy. Looking forward to seeing that. 200 skill guns. I hear what you're saying, buddy. Let's see, Matthew is in here tonight. Good to see you tonight, man. Hey, and as far as your question about the pre-orders, so whenever you place a pre-order on our website, you do have the option of paying up front. Some people like to do that. Go ahead and get it out of the way. But you also have the option in the checkout, as you are noticing here, to not pay until they're ready to ship. Usually what we do when you choose that option is give or take a week or so from the time we know that we're actually going to have them. And it also depends on how many of them we have to track people down for the money for them. We start sending out invoices and you can pay at that time. The way our system works, if you place an order, either way, we still do our very best to make sure to get you one. And we never like to use the words like guarantee, because with shipping and manufacturers that we rely on, you never know. But generally speaking, yes, whether you pay for it up front or not, you're getting one from us. The only difference would be those who prepay for them, they do ship first. As soon as they come in, whoever has paid, those go through the line first. And then as those that have not paid, when they do pay, they get put into the line. So either way you want to do it, buddy, it's up to you. And those kits are going to be very nice, and they're going to be headed this way very soon. So make sure to grab one up before they're gone. The Way is in here tonight. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good evening. And Danny is in here with us tonight. Hope you're having a good one, buddy. James and Jason are hanging out with us. Randy, good to see you tonight, buddy. Working on more book reviews, I see. Let's see. Alan, how are you tonight? Two Hands is with us down from the villages of the White Sands. The McConnells are here. Good to see you. Wayne, the lawn care novice. Brett is with us tonight. Good to see you. Derek, Nico, and Arnell, how are you tonight, buddy? And Steven, how are you, man? Mike's with us. Ken, EV, Bill, Raymond's here. Rob Jansen, Ed, how are you, man? Glad it's warming up out there for you. Matt and Benjamin, Skip's with us. Let's see. Recon Models, Vaughn's with us tonight. Howdy, buddy. Ransamilio, it is time for me to get out of here for a minute. We'll see y'all in a few. All right, guys, howdy. How are you? Thank you for joining us tonight. This is Squadron's Wednesday Night Live, and we are so happy that you are joining us yet again. Week in and week out, we have an excellent time hanging out with you guys, and I'm so glad that you join us each week. We just said hello to most of you, but going through the rest of the list, High-X Racing is here, Recon, Jim, Rex, TD, Randy, Byron, Greg, and Frank says it's party time. So there you got it, guys. It's party time indeed. Mark, good to see you tonight. Yeah, and Frank is in the house, Ed says. Oh man. And Frank, yeah, over on the P47 group build page, not our standard squadron page, in the coming days and weeks, as everybody kind of gets in the groove of what they're building, I am sure there's going to be quite a bit of that kind of talk coming up in that room. Some of you guys that are a part of this P47 build group that we're doing, most of you, well, I don't know. There's about 20 or 30 of you that have joined us over on the Facebook group. Since last week, we're up to, I should have the list in front of me. I'll pull the list up real quick. But many of you are joined in with us over there on the Facebook group, starting to share your pictures of what you're building, which decals you're going with, and all that. We are up to 45 modelers that have joined us in the P47 group. And if everybody brings what they claim they're bringing right now, we're at 73 P47s for the group display. So I'm very, very excited about this. I hope that that everybody is able to be there. But even if a portion of what is planned to be there shows up, it's still going to be a great display, and I'm very much so looking forward to it. So again, Frank, there will be plenty of talk about colors and decals and everything else coming up in that group chat, I am sure. Theron, good to see you tonight, buddy. And Tanker Glenn, how are you, man? Gothmog is here. How are you? Ron, good to see you tonight. And Patrick's with us. And let's see. Fleet 700's here. Gary is with us tonight, and Gary's got something in the show and tell. So I saw a couple of guys talking about the show and tell in the chat here. Yes, tonight is show and tell, but those of you who said it's not, you're not wrong either. Our normal, regularly scheduled show and tell is always, or has recently been, the third Wednesday night of the month, which is next week, the 18th. But this month, we have had quite a few submissions for show and tell. And then next week, we are also going to be displaying the Japanese destroyer builds from the Buddy build that Danny started. And we're going to have a few of those as well. So with that, plus the large amount of show and tell that has been submitted and continue to be submitted, please keep sending them in. If you hadn't missed out February show and tell. Point is, we're doing two parts. Tonight is part one, next week is part two. That way we can split it up and we don't have to run 3 or 4 hours like we have in the past. We can keep it at our relatively close to scheduled time frame, or at least that's the goal. So we will see how it goes. Let's see. And with saying hey to everybody during the 5-minute countdown, I actually get to stay on top of the chat, and I'm all the way at the end now. So this is great. I'm going to go ahead and bring our good buddy Jeff in. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I've been just chatting away. I decided to jump in early and talk on top of the 5-minute countdown. And
so you were stalling for me is what you were doing.
Well, something like that, but I just wanted to make sure to, usually I'm flying through it, and I mean, you know how it goes.
Oh yeah.
But we got a good show tonight. Unplanned, I guess. We kind of decided in the last day or two that we were going to split the show and tell up into two parts this month, and I think it's a good thing. We don't have to go so long, and we can spend, a good amount of time on each model instead. Because what usually ends up happening is we spend a good amount of time the first hour and a half, and then as it gets later and later, we start, flying through it a little faster, and I feel bad for that. So hopefully we can take a good look at everything tonight, and then next week we'll load it up again and go again. Tom will not be joining us tonight. Tom usually hangs out with us during the show and tell.
Ooh, that's my compressor going off. Sorry about that.
Oh, well, there you go. But anyway, seeing that this was kind of an all of the sudden decision to do a 2-part show and tell this month, he had other plans this evening. So,
yeah.
It's just going to be you and me coming up with everything to say about some good-looking models.
I think we can suffer through it.
Well, the good thing is usually what happens, and I don't think tonight will be an exception, is the models pretty much speak for themselves.
There you go. You know what's going to end up happening is every week is going to end up turning into show and tell week, and then we're going to have to add another night of show.
Well, either that or we just, who knows? We'll make it up as we go. That's kind of our MO around here, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
yeah. Well, so I'm not disappearing, but I'm hiding me for a minute because before we get going, I got a funny little story to tell.
Okay.
And I didn't tell you about this. I told you I had something funny to talk about, and y'all are going to think I'm absolutely nuts, but
going to think.
Yeah. Well, okay. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that. So,
hey, I mean, you know what? It can't be any worse than Quackers and cheese. So,
I don't know. I've got props.
I'm still getting messages from guys about Quackers and cheese. So,
well, I see your Quackers and cheese, and I raise you cat pajamas.
Oh, dear God.
So go ahead and mock me, and go ahead and make your assumptions about me, and then I'm going to clarify some things.
Well, the problem is that all the jokes that I want to make are inappropriate for this audience.
So don't worry. I'm taking this off in just a minute,
Okay.
as soon as I get done with this story. So I get a package at the shop yesterday.
Okay.
And as packages come in,
let's get a look at this here. Okay.
Yeah, here you go.
All right.
Now, Jeff, you have seen our family's cat, right?
Yes.
Luna. Does this not look like Luna?
That looks like Luna. Yes.
Okay. So, and I'm not wearing them, but this is a full suit. It comes with pants. Crystal's got a set too. They're in blue. Emmett has a pair. They're in a different shade of blue. So this package shows up. All right. And it comes in, and they bring it to my office just like any other package that's got my name on it. I don't think anything of it other than I'm like, why in the heck do I have and I'm going through my mind, what all have I ordered?
Right.
What are we expecting? There's nobody that we've ordered from before that comes in a pink thing. And I see it's an international label. So I'm like, did one of our photo etch guys, are they using pink packaging now? All these things are coming through my mind. I pick it up, and it's obviously cloth.
Fabric. Yeah.
Fabric. Yeah. Thank you. So then I start thinking, okay, have I ordered some new display tablecloths for the shows coming up or something that because I'm always ordering that kind of stuff.
We have those on order. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm like, no, I don't think so. Whatever. So I open it, and I see this, and I see
pajamas.
Yeah. And there's blue ones and orange ones. And I didn't know they were pajamas to start with. And I see them, and everything's going through my mind. I'm like, okay, maybe somebody's sending us samples trying to sell us on something.
Right.
Then I pull them out, and I see this that very much so looks like our cat. So then I'm thinking, Crystal bought these, and she had them shipped to the shop. So I called her and basically, kind of told her, hey, your stuff's here. Did you order these? She's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, why would I? No, I didn't order that. So now I have no clue. Why do I have these? Why is my name on the package? Then I start looking at the shipping label.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to transition into this basically being a blasting the post office. We use the post office. You guys know that. We use UPS. You know that. Some of you, especially recently, might have ordered from us, and you might have got a tracking number that claims that it left my building, but it never gets scanned in for days. Some of you have received a package that never got scanned in. It says that, we generated the shipping label on January 1st, just to pick a date, and it never gets updated. Couple of you, I actually sent you another shipment. It was a relatively inexpensive item. I just being nice, doing the right thing, sending you an item. Then the original one that supposedly we never shipped showed up at your house. But the tracking number still doesn't say that it ever got picked up, nor does it say it ever got delivered to you. My point is the post office is so unreliable these days. Now, if any of you guys work for the post office, I'm sure you're not the problem. I don't know where the problem is. Maybe it's a robot in the distribution plant. We'll just go with that.
We can safely blame it on AI.
We will safely assume that it's AI. Our local post office people, the ones that we actually deal with face to face, they are the nicest people. I love them.
Yep.
But somewhere between our local people that we deal with face to face on a daily basis, I don't know what happens. So back to this.
Yeah.
I look at it, and it in fact does not say it's to Brandon. It says it's from Brandon. I'm like, oh, okay. So I start looking at this more and more closer. So I'll cut to the chase. What this is, and I won't show it to where you can see the guy or anything. What this is a shipping label that we generated, and we printed this shipping label in our facility. And this is, I ran all the numbers, I looked up the tracking number, and I traced this back to an order that was placed from us at the beginning of December 2025. This was it was actually a vacuum canopy for a Brewster 72 scale, in fact, that was shipped to one of our good customers in Finland. It went from our facility in the beginning of December. It made it to Finland around December 20th, somewhere in that ballpark. And then it sat there. And then sometime in January, I forget the exact date, the package it says it was delivered. So I assumed that, okay, great. I never looked at this until now, but had I looked at it before, you would have assumed, okay, guy's got his package, all is good. And then all of a sudden on February 10th, yesterday, at whatever time it was, the package all of a sudden says returned to our location in Ringgold. That's it. So from December, it bounces around all sorts of places, shows up in Finland, sits in Finland for 3 weeks or thereabout, and then shows delivered to customer. A month later, all of a sudden it's returned to me. And this is what it looks like in this package. Completely sealed. It was not open. And I open it up and I have my nice new cat pajamas. How in the world did my shipping label end up on this package with these clothes in it that were produced in China? Riddle me that one, Batman.
Did you reach out to the customer that originally got the canopy?
Oh yeah, everything's good. He never got his canopy. Yeah, he will. He's a good customer. He knows we're good for it. He was curious what in the world was going on. But yeah, I mean, how does that happen? This is obviously, have you guys ever got a pink package from us? Now, I've been running this through my mind. What I assume happened, because there is another shipping label under this, and try as I may, I can't get to it to see what it says.
Steam it.
Okay, well, I may do that, but here's what I'm assuming happened. The package that we shipped was not quite this big. It was just a 72 scale, so it's probably half this size. My assumption is, that AI robot we're talking about screwed up the shipping label and had to print another one, which is this. And he slapped it on the wrong box. Instead of it getting put on the box that was supposed to go to our Finland customer, it got put on this. When it got there, perhaps they knew that it was not correct. Perhaps he refused it, whatever. It was returned to sender. And now I have new cat pajamas. So I tell this story, it's kind of funny for us. You might think I'm kind of stupid for sitting here wearing this, but my point is shipping these days, post office or otherwise, honestly, but especially the post office, unfortunately, it's a necessary evil because we have to use them.
The sad part about all this is that there is someone in Helsinki who's probably really, really ticked off that they got a vacuform canopy and not cat pajamas.
Yep, probably so. But
Wow.
guys, we do our best to get the stuff out of here in a timely manner, and usually we do. But after it leaves our warehouse, it's just there's a certain e-commerce company out there in internet land that if you're not them, you play by whatever the post office's rules claim to be, and we're just at their mercy sometimes. But we just keep trucking along and we get stuff shipped out, and hopefully you guys get them as quickly as you can and you don't end up with cat pajamas. But if you do, let me know, because
so many inappropriate jokes I could make right now. This is just
gosh,
especially getting a pink package in the mail, and
well, maybe we should move on. Check this out.
Huh.
Yep. So we talked about them last week, but I brought some of these home to look through. I'm curious how this stacks up to the Dragon kit, as are a lot of people, I'm sure. It'll be interesting to see.
It's probably cheaper than the Dragon kit.
Well, most importantly, it's available. The Dragon kit, you can't really grab those up right now. Last week you talked about the Queen Elizabeth being a big carrier and a big kit. You weren't joking. This thing is huge for 700 scale. And you were talking about it's not that much smaller than a Fletcher in 200 scale.
It's really not.
No, it's really not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of crazy. But we've had a few people, and we won't really go into this tonight because that's not what tonight's about. But we've had a few people asking about the Johnston set that we had previously announced, and we'll talk more about it next week.
I'm working on it.
No, I know. Well, here's where I was going with that. People were asking which one of these two kits is the conversion going to be made for, and the answer is this guy.
This one.
Yeah.
However, we will probably do an update improvement set for the Stevens as well.
Yeah, the a la carte, if you will, the buffet items, the 20s, the 40s, all the guns would work for either. But specifically, the Johnston set that we're talking about, because some people, Jeff, were asking, hey, I want to do that. Which one of these kits should I buy? And the answer is the original Fletcher kit.
Correct.
Is the one to buy to most easily utilize the Johnston set. But
I would imagine that Stevens only has 4 turrets in the kit box.
Yeah, because the turrets are individually cast.
Yeah, so you need 5 for Johnston. So, and the deck house has changed for the catapult placement and all that other fun stuff. So
but those are both here. They're going well. Some really cool stuff. But next week we're going to do the show and tell, the second half. And we also are planning on, fingers crossed, tentatively planning on having the February version of the Squadron Flyer out, which we will look at it tomorrow or next Wednesday night, just because we're going to have it and, got to look at it. Right. But we're planning on posting that on Tuesday evening. That way you guys can kind of take a look at it and enjoy it for a day before we get on here on Wednesday night. And then we can just kind of do a recap rather than spending the whole evening flipping through it together, because as you guys will find out, it's going to be a good bit bigger and better, we think better, and more enjoyable. Like we said last month, really it's only been a couple of weeks, but the January edition of the Flyer, we really didn't set out for it to be a monthly Flyer, and you guys just really loved it. So we went back to the drawing board, and the catalog we did that has some of these articles and things like that in there, we wanted to maybe include some of that type of material. So we'll see. We'll have that ready for you to look at next week. All sorts of new goodies to look at, and we'll do that. We'll do the show and tell, and then we're also going to show off Danny and his Japanese destroyers, and there's a few other guys that have joined in on the buddy build. So we're very excited about seeing that.
Mine is nearing completion. It's getting some weathering and some last minute photo etch. I went
Some TLC.
Oh, I went over the top.
Good.
I got the Infini hyper detail set for it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 8 sheets of photo etch
That's fun.
for a ship that's this long. So now what I'm doing is I'm going back and I'm looking at the photo etch going, okay, does this really dramatically improve the model? And some stuff does. And then there's other stuff like the little tiny grab rails that like, or the individual ladder rungs that you have to drill the holes in the plastic and put each individual ladder rung going up the side of the funnel. No.
So you're not going to like put the toilet plunger photo etch and that kind of stuff? Okay.
No. Well, not if I want to get it done in time for next week. But
yeah. Well, and here's the last little thing, and then we'll jump into the show and tell. Believe it or not, Danny, you'll be proud of me. Perhaps I have joined your buddy build, and mine is pretty much done. All I got to do is put rails on it. And I bought some rails at the shop, and I keep forgetting to bring them home. So I got.
You forgot again today, didn't you?
Well, I worked from the house today, so
there you go.
Yeah. But that'll be my weekend project. I mean, it's the rest of it's done at 700 scale, but it's full hole. So I got that going for me. But it'll be neat. That'll be a fun time next week to see that. And I don't know if you were in here, if you were running a little late today. Usually Jeff is sitting backstage waiting for me to be quiet and bring him on, but he was a little late. The P47 group build is going very strong. We've got, I said it and I've already forgot. Let's see. I think we've got 45 people joined in on us now. And we've got over 70 models that, a lot of people are bringing one, some people are bringing two. So between what everybody says they want to bring, it's about 73 models at the moment. So I have reached out to the guys in charge of the Tiger Meet. They have a thing on their website that, you're supposed to go through the motions of emailing them, letting them know. So I've emailed them to let them know our intentions of bringing a P47 group build to find out how much space we can reserve, and we'll go from there. So things are looking up.
Sounds good.
Yep.
I've got mine sitting here.
Good.
And as soon as the Shimakaze is done, I will.
That's next on the list.
Probably start.
Excuse
me. I'll probably start working on that. Yeah. And I noticed there were a couple of questions. This is the Verifier Missouri.
Yep. That's the old box art.
Correct.
That's the original box art.
Hasegawa P47D. This is the mini art SU 122-54. That is the Mercedes Sauber C9, and that is a Nissan R89C.
Very good.
So those were the top two were acquisitions from this past week.
Okay. One other thing, you mentioned mini art, and it made me remember the P47, the Nationals, the advanced little part pack. I can't think. The advanced parts pack for the Nationals version of the P47 from last year. Those are finally on their way to us. We should have them in about two weeks or so, give or take.
Cool.
As long as it's that and not cat pajamas. So, oh man. Well, Jeff, let's jump into this show and tell and see what we've got to look at tonight. First up, we've got Michael, and we're starting out in your scale, buddies, 32 scale Intruder. So let's take a look at this thing.
Ooh, and he did it in the lizard scheme.
Yeah, sometimes I put things first because I know it's going to get you happy. So
Yep.
There you go.
So the history behind this, and Michael will probably jump in and elaborate, but the Navy actually experimented with putting greens on the tops of their carrier-based aircraft that were flying missions over Vietnam.
Okay.
So I have seen this on Intruders. I've seen it on Sky Raiders, Navy Sky Raiders, not Air Force Sky Raiders. And I've seen it on F4 Phantoms. And it's really weird to see the bottom half of the aircraft is Navy and the top half is green.
Well, this is the only two looks of this that we've got.
That is a big model.
Yeah. Do you say it's Trumpeter? Yeah, Trumpeter.
Yeah. I have one over there, I think. I don't even know. I've horse traded so many kits on and off and back and forth. I don't even know if I have that one anymore.
Well, come on, you can't have your, show and tell inspiration on the first model, can you?
No, I could.
Yeah,
I mean, just the simple fact that it's 30-second scale,
it's 30-second scale. It's a unique paint scheme, and you have one in the stash. That's like the trifecta of inspiration.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
That's. I don't want to say I have low standards, but I'm pretty easy when it comes to stuff like that. Squirrel mode. Either way, Micah, you did a great job on this, and he's got another one for us to look at, also in your scale. Nice.
Yeah, F-35A done up in aggressor paint scheme.
Ooh, very cool.
You and I were talking yesterday or the day before about F-35s, just in general, about how, would love to see some cool paint schemes. Kind of blah. Yeah.
But I mean, obviously the half glass gray is strategically important for these airplanes. So yeah, you only typically see artwork on the tail, but this is really cool.
Yep. No, this
Michael, really is this an actual aircraft? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the chat, Michael.
Man, everybody's reminding me. Yes, A5 Vigilantes too. Guys are brutal,
Well, hey, we're all in this together. You don't know, and you don't know if you don't know, and if you forget, we got a lot of guys in here to help us remember. Yeah, this is cool. Michael, let us. I don't know if he's in the chat, but if you are, let us know if this is a real aircraft paint scheme or one you came up with. Either way, it's awesome and very good job on it. Very cool. All right, next up, this is Chris. Now, this, he's got a whole write-up of the history of this scene that he's depicting, and this is actually something that you will get to see in next week's digital flyer. But for tonight, we'll take a look at just the pictures of it, and then you can hear the whole story if you don't already know about it next week when the catalog hits. But he has done up a Tamiya Fletcher as the USS Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
And he has used all sorts of goodies, gold medal, veteran models, Edward, Black Cat stuff, Flyhawk stuff. I mean, he's even got figures from Pig models, Blue Ridge models, and Black Cat and Ion. I mean, so he's got a little bit of everything on this on this kit. And he says this scene depicts the Nicholas recovering survivors from Helena during my slideshow thing is covering this up.
Battle of Kula Gulf, July 5, 6, 43.
Okay. All I saw was during the 43. I got to figure out how to move this slider thing. So check this out. And he showed many months ago, he showed us the very beginning work in progress of this.
Yep.
If it looks familiar, that's why, but this is finalized and completed now. And I think it's kind of cool. And reading the story of this whole battle and everything that took place was kind of interesting. It's something that I was not familiar with. So, Chris, thank you for sharing that. Again, it'll be in the flyer next week. Yeah, I love how he did his the oil spill there.
Yeah,
he told me, this is one of our local guys. He said, I'm not 100% sure if that's really accurate, like how it would look, but I told him, I said, man, it doesn't matter. It makes for a heck of a good looking model because when you see it in person, all those different colors in the water just really, really stand out and pop. Yeah, and he really does have a lot of figures on there. You start looking on the deck and looking on the nets and the boats and everything else. They're everywhere. Oh, and Jeff, you know what the best part about this is?
You can see underwater.
Okay, that's not where I was going, but that is
okay.
No, guess what paint he used?
The Let me think. He.
You're trying to come up with something smart.
I was, but that's a stretch for me lately. Trying to
No,
anything smart.
this is our paint, the Squadron colors. So he had
Fantastic.
a couple of other. He had a little bit of Tamiya on there, and I think he had a couple of craft paints or something. But for the most part, this is done up in the Squadron colors paint. So
Yeah, very nice.
yep, absolutely. Well, Chris, thank you for showing that with us. Paul is up next, and this is an oldie, a 1/15 scale Tiger One from Bandai. Back many moons ago when Bandai was putting out military stuff.
Built that kit at one time.
Really?
Yeah, but we're talking like 1978.
Now he says it's remote control. Does it come that way, or did it come that way, or perhaps
mine did?
it?
Mine only came with mine came. I remember mine came with a gearbox and battery pack.
Okay, so
you had to use D cell batteries.
Gotcha.
And you could only go straight ahead.
Okay. Well, he's given us one shot of trying to take a sneak peek inside, but he's got it all done up in there.
Yep. You can see the battery harnesses there down below.
Yep.
Very cool.
So there you go. Big old tank that actually runs.
Very nice.
Yeah, I wonder what it's interesting to look back on old kits and old scales.
Mm-hmm.
1/15 scale. Well, how did 1/16 scale become the standard for that ballpark size? And it's the same with everything. Ship models. There was 300 scale ships and 400 scale ships, yet 350 kind of became the standard.
Yeah,
but now this is still neat. How big of a difference would that be? This in 15 and 16 scale? Would it? It's kind of like car models in 24 and 25th scale. There's hardly any difference at all. But I'm sure if you had the two tanks side by side, you could tell the difference.
Well, let's ask.
Rob says he remembers ordering 48 scale Bandai kits from Squadron back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, they jumped on the Gundam bandwagon and they went full forward with that.
So 1/16 is, or 1/15 is 6.25% larger than 1/16.
Okay.
And 1/16 is 6.67% smaller than 1/15.
Well, you got to figure the bigger you get, the larger it matters. You think of a 700 scale ship is hardly any different than an 800 scale ship. But you go all the way up to 1/2 scale, that's significantly different than 1-to-1 scale. So that makes sense that this would be that much bigger.
By 50%.
Yeah.
I could never understand the logic. 48 scale, I get, it's quarter scale. They call it quarter scale, for,
right?
3 feet to the inch. And 1/192 is 16 feet to the inch. You would think that they would have standardized, okay, why not 1/50th scale or 1/100th scale, or we got 1/200 scale. So, or quarter inch to the foot. Thanks, Ron. Don't, you know what? I'm going to say stupid stuff all night long. Just don't bother correcting me because I know I'm wrong. We'll just leave it at that. But what I can't, like box scale, I get, you want the biggest model that you could fit in, you got 10 million of these boxes and everything that you do fits into that box.
Right.
But, in the 1970s, when 700 scale hit, it's my understanding that the big four that were in Japan, which was Aoshima, Tamiya, Hasegawa, and Fujimi, all got together and decided they were going to create this collector scale. And then they divvied up all the subjects amongst themselves. I can see that happening.
The good old Waterline series.
Yeah, and 48 scale, I can see them, the whole, keeping it in conjunction with aircraft and quarter inch to the foot and all that other fun stuff.
Oh yeah, no,
But
it's true. I'm with you, but it's probably just because you already said you're going to say stupid things, so I'll just go ahead and say maybe I'm just stupid, and 25, 50, and 100 makes sense to me. It's easy, but
yeah,
no, and Byron was talking about not knowing the box scale. Yeah, that's why you look back at a lot of the Revell kits, and actually, you don't even have to look back. Look at Atlantis models now, who is just pumping out a bunch of good old kits and cleaning up tooling and reissuing these things. And you look at their list, and like hardly any of the scales match. You got 576 scale this and 237 scale that, just these weird things. And that's why it's like Jeff said, back then they would make, I want to use the word die, but there's my stupid thing, Jeff. However they were made, they made these boxes, and whatever size it was, they could print on them, so each box could be different, but the actual shell itself was made. So and the term box scale came up at some point.
I mean, two of the world's most famous kits of all time, bar none, has to be the Revell Arizona and the Revell Missouri. Every single one of us has built one or the other of those kits in our lifetime. One of them, the Revell kit, is 1/426 scale, and the Missouri kit is 1/570th scale, something weird like that.
Yeah, so basically they're the same length.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting you said that. I'll mention this, then we'll jump back to the next show and tell. But we talked about having more things in the Squadron flyer each month now. One of the things that we'll get to see sometime down the road, it may be later this year or even into the next year, we've actually got a real good friend who used to be in the business who can give us the answers to what the actual number 1 and 2 best-selling kits of all time ever were. And it's extremely interesting. And once you know the answer to the question, you'll go, oh,
it's not those two. I'm sure it's probably
in the ship model world. I understand.
Yeah. In the ship model world, there's no doubt that those two are probably number 1 and number 2.
No, I'm not jumping on telling you you're wrong. When you said it, I thought, oh, we're actually going to get to hear about that sometime down the road this year. It'll be an interesting.
I did a little math today, and I now have I have an algorithm that I have put together.
Okay.
And it correlates the number of items that appear in our monthly flyer, and it's directly proportional to the amount of sleep that we get.
And also how many models we're able to get finished.
Yeah, well, those are going to be boxes probably longer than I'm going to be alive.
Oh, man. All right, well, let's see who's next. James is up next, and he's got a 350th scale kit for us to look at this month of Mogami, the Tamiya version.
I do have this kit. Oh, now yeah. I'm inspired. Yeah, thanks, James.
These are good ones. These are good. Is this the one? Oh, is it this one or is it the other one that has the other version with the back half being an aircraft carrier? Is it Mogami?
Yeah, Mogami. Okay. The 44 Mogami has
That's what I thought. So this is the full cruiser version. If I were going to build one, I've always thought those hybrid aircraft carrier cruisers are just really wacky looking.
Mogami, Makuma, Soyuza, and tell me the last one, guys. Mogami, Makuma, Soyuza, and
were they all the same class?
Chikuma. No, okay. Chikuma was Tone's sister. Yeah, there were 4 ships. Chikuma. Yeah, there were 4 ships in the Mogami class. There were 2 ships in the Tone class, and there were 4 ships.
Was it the Haguro?
No, Haguro is a Miyoko class.
Okay. Kumano.
Kumano, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Mark's got it right.
This
Yeah.
is cool. And nice work on that linoleum back there. That's looking looking nice. Yeah, he in his email he sent he was kind of working on this. He says, "Here's I know it's not a destroyer, but I'm joining in on the Japanese fun for the month anyway."
And
So,
why not? Absolutely.
yeah, this is cool.
That is neat. I've got the kit, and it was one of those kits that I picked it up at a model show. It actually, I think it was Nationals.
Oh yeah.
In Virginia, and I got it for a song, and I knew the guy who was selling it, so I didn't even bother to ask him if it was, complete or anything like that. I know the guy, and everything was cool, so I gave him the money and put the kit under the table, and then I loaded it up in my car. I brought it home, and then when I went to put it on the shelf, I opened it up, and it was full.
All the photo etch and
There's
stuff.
photo etch and all
Heck
kinds
yeah.
of extra stuff in it. And so
Yeah.
I messaged him, and I'm like, you do realize that this kit was full, right? And do you want,
Some more money.
any more money? And I kind of felt bad. He's like, nope, make it go away. And I'm like, okay.
There you go.
So
there's your inspiration then.
there you go.
In the spirit of trying my best to keep up with the chat, Archon says, any news on the fly? Buddy, I'm afraid I do not know the answer to that question off the top of my head. I can look later. If you want to send me an email, I can look when I'm at the shop. But sometimes I know things and sometimes I don't. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I am clueless on when that one may get here. But I can look it up for you when I'm back at the shop if you want to get up with me through the email.
Yeah, it looks great.
This is neat. This is very cool.
And one of the things that I really like about doing Japanese ships, number one, they have pretty lines. But number two, everything that is not linoleum or red is gray. And, it just makes life so much easier than, ships in Dazzle look really, really cool. But if you want to, in the interest of getting things done, yeah. And these in 350th especially, these new Tamiya releases and all of these new Japanese capital ships that they're doing, it's really a great time to be a ship modeler.
And it's really cool too doing the linoleum. I gotta watch saying that or I'll tie my tongue up. It's when you if you're gonna paint a wood deck,
right? There's
some guys that are just amazing at it. I am not one of those guys, so I rely on a aftermarket wood deck. But something like the linoleum, there I go again. You can paint that, and it actually I can paint that and make it look like something, which is kind of cool for me, just from a satisfying. I did something, I made it look good, and then you get this multicolor effect. You got the whole red, you got the gray on the side, you got the gray and the black accents, and then you got this deck color, this wood color that's not super hard to achieve with an airbrush, like a traditional wood
you
deck.
do realize that's like really linoleum.
No, I know that, but I'm saying from a painting it point of view, painting that versus trying to paint individual planks on a teak deck,
right?
This is so much easier for me to achieve. Like I said, some guys can paint wood decks and do the individual planks, and it just makes me cry and want to quit. But this type of a wood deck, the linoleum, is one thing that I personally have been able to achieve with, good enough for myself results. Kind of like his here. This looks awesome.
Years ago, I did an old school. Well, it was originally an NTEX kit, and then they marketed it as Gunzi Sangyo.
Okay.
But I did a model of the, it was Lusitania, and I converted it to Mauritania as a troop ship, and decided that I was going to lay the deck one plank at a time.
Oh, gosh.
And I went to the model railroad shop, the hobby shop, and I said I need the smallest. I gave him the measurements. And he's like, "Oh, well, how much? I got like 4 packs. How many do you need?" I said, "Probably about 40." And he looked at me kind of weird. I told him what I was doing. I will never ever lay a wooden deck in 3/50th scale ever again.
Well, there's a couple of these guys over here talking about the Revell Constitution in regards to, possibly, and I'm not going to tell you guys you're wrong. That is certainly one of the longest running kits ever, but I've seen some guys do the individual plank painting on that before, and it just looks like real wood if you're good at it. So, well, James, thank you for sending that in. Next up, we've got Lance, and this is our guy, if you recall, who has his model signed.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? So this one, well, I must have forgot to put it on the slideshow. I think this one, the P-51, he's got both the underside of both wings is signed by somebody different, and well, we'll just have to look at it. But yeah, this is him. He's got 3 of them for us to look at tonight, which this man continues to amaze me. I mean, if you've got one model kit signed by a famous pilot or somebody like a general or whatever, that's cool. This guy's got like a whole dang collection full of them. And his models look really good on top of it. Did he say this is 72 scale? No, 48 scale. Okay, 48 scale Tamiya.
Another fantastic kit to build.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Aubner Alst.
457th. Okay, that is not the one that's signed on both wings. Okay. But yeah, there you go. I mean, that's just very, very cool. All right, so this one is a P-47, talking about P-47s. Signed by Walker, or I guess nickname Bud.
Maharan.
Ace, and from the 56th. This is a Hasegawa kit, 48 scale.
I had the opportunity to meet Walker at a P-47 fighter pilots reunion at West Point.
Oh, really?
In the 1990s, late 90s, early 2000s. The P-47 Pilots Association had a reunion there.
Wow.
And I was good friends. I was at the museum at the time, and I was good friends with 2 different P-47 pilots.
Okay.
And they invited me up, and I'll tell you what, it was Gabby was there, and Zemke was there, and Johnson was there, and Maharan was there, and Schilling was there, and all of the guys that and then a lot of the Bob Forrest, who flew P-47Ns out of the Pacific. Yeah, that's really, really cool. What a great bunch of guys.
Yeah. It's
they love that airplane.
It's crazy just to think. I mean, they're almost all gone. Well, I mean, are there any surviving P-47 pilots left?
That's hard to say.
That'd be a question for John.
Yeah.
He'd know. But no, this is very, very cool. This is like we say every month when we see these, it's like, wow, what a collection. So last, he's got to be 26. Okay, this is the one signed by 2 pilots that flew this plane
flak bait
at different times. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So let's check this out. And this is the monogram kit, 48 scale monogram kit.
God, I want this airplane in 32nd scale. So bad. I want this airplane in 32nd scale.
And usually, since your stash is apparently endless, you're always talking about, when they pop up. Okay, I actually have this kit, this old monogram flak bait kit.
I have the ICM kit.
Oh yeah,
but I gave the monogram kit away to a youngster at a flight fest, I think, or a model show or something like that. I gave the kit away.
Yeah, this is just a incredible story on this plane. But there you go. There's one of them.
And the best part is, the aircraft, I do believe that flak bait is in the process of being reassembled and put back together.
Oh, really?
If she hasn't been already,
Okay.
at Air and Space in Udvar-Hazy Group Museum. So there's a good opportunity that if you're on the East Coast, you can actually see this airplane in person.
That'd be awesome. Well, very, very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. Lance, thank you for showing these to us, buddy. I keep thinking you're going to run out of signed models, but I don't know. So
well, I think I
sending them.
remember way back in the day, he said that he had like dozens and dozens and dozens
Right.
of these that were signed. So
It's always cool to see them. So keep sending them in. All right, Dale is up next, and he's got a 25 scale. We got some odd scale Tigers tonight, Jeff. 25 scale. He said he doesn't remember what brand this is, but it didn't Academy do a
25th scale is Academy. Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, Jason, you referenced me to look at your post. Things are going by so fast, and I'm kind of brain dead tonight. So, yeah. Very cool. Yeah, that's the old Academy kit.
Yeah, that's a big kit in 25th scale. I mean, not 16 scale size, but I mean that's a nice model.
And the Academy kit, if I'm not mistaken, its claim to fame is that a lot of its parts were scrounged by Industrial Light and Magic for use in Star Wars movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Academy kit and the Bandai kits in 1/15th scale are very popular kits for the guys that do the studio scale Star Wars models.
I can see that.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at I'm not excuse me, I'm not familiar with this kit, and there's a lot going on with it.
I don't I don't know if Tamiya did a 25th scale Tiger. I'll have to take a look.
And going that far back, even if they did, there's a chance that it was a Reeboks. It could have been the same kit, because they used to do a lot, and I don't know if they used to work with Academy, but
Tamiya did make a 25th scale.
Was it their own, or was it the same as the Academy kit?
Je ne sais pas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I know Tamiya years ago used to do a lot of Italeri kits, with their logo on it. Who knows? Well, either way, this looks nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
So whether it's the Academy or whether it's the Tamiya, well, we do not know, and he doesn't remember either. So either way, though, it's done nice. Thanks for sharing that with us. Raymond is up next. This is a big one that we don't see often. Heck, I don't know if we've ever seen one on here. The Scud from Trumpeter. This is a big old kit. Yeah, and I like his paint scheme too. If you're in the room, let us know, was this decals or was this some really fine masking and handwork? Because
those digital schemes are just
hey, look at that.
Oh yeah,
you got to stare at it just for a second to realize what's going on here. Because at first I thought, is it sitting on a mirror? Oh no, that's the box art upside down. Yeah, it's cool.
Trumpeter did, and continues to do. They do some really large 1/35th scale vehicles that are really not on anybody's radar. They do the obviously the Scud launchers, and they do a bunch of radar, and they do a bunch of tank recovery vehicles. They do some really, really hefty stuff that
they do. Raymond is in the room. He says he had to cut the doors open. They don't come that way.
20 days of taping.
So there you go. That is not decals. That is masked off and painted. That is
Nice.
That is some dedication. That's awesome, Raymond. Ron just answered our question on Tamiya. It was their own tooling from 1969 for that Tiger. That's crazy. Thank you for looking that up, Ron. There you go. But yeah, Jeff, to your point about the big kits, they do, and a lot of it is this kind of Russian kind of stuff. But I mean,
Yep.
Some of it's just really wacky, and a lot of it, when I see it, I got to go look it up to find out what it is, because it's just some really large wheeled things with, I don't even know what a lot of it is, but there's one of our aisles in the warehouse. Everything in the warehouse is kind of set up by part number order.
Mhm.
Well, that series of trumpeter stuff is all in that same part number. So
Yeah.
down that one aisle, you just walk down there and you start seeing them all. And I mean, some of these 35th scale kits are in the size of what you would think would be a 16th scale tank kit. They're just huge, but they're very neat.
There was a movie out, and I'm probably gonna, the old dudes in the chat will remember it, but there was a comedy out. It had Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd. I think it was called Spies Like Us. And in one of the movies, in the movie, these two guys had to like prevent a missile launch of some, and there are a couple of bumbling, spies or whatever. I think that was the name of the movie. And I remember seeing the movie, and I'm like, that would be really cool to build a model of that. And I think it was something like this. But
There it is.
Yeah, more inspiration.
This is nice. Thank you for sharing that with us. Fred's talking about that, going back to the 25 scale.
Yep.
Mia kits again. It's funny. He recalls an old Squadron review saying if it were metal, it would run. So very, very neat stuff.
We don't write reviews like that anymore because too many people would believe us, and then we'd get into trouble, or we'd get corrected.
Well,
I'm in a mood.
I can tell.
I'm in a mood.
I'll have to get my ready, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not in that bad of a mood.
Okay,
but,
there you go.
I'm just kind of in a snarky mood. It's been a long day.
Well, just sit back and enjoy the models. That's what we're here for. Raymond's got us another one to look at. And, and we mentioned it here, but recall that he had to cut these doors open, which I find odd. Something that big you would have thought would have come with the option to open them. But he obviously likes doing that because this fire truck from ICM, he also had to cut the doors open to get those to work. So, that's a pretty good job on that. If you hadn't told me that, it looks clean, I would have thought it just came that way. So you did a nice job getting your doors open. Yeah, you're talking about trumpeter having some odd things. ICM's got some odd things too.
Yeah,
and it's not odd in a bad way. It's just this
unique.
is not what you would think of, doing.
Yeah, ICM and Mini are they have some what's the esoteric subjects.
Yeah. But this is neat. I love seeing this because we sell a lot of those type of subjects, and I don't hardly ever see them built. So this is very interesting to see this one completed and built and done very nice, I might add. So. Yeah, that's a real nice job on that, buddy. Thank you for sending that in. All right, 72 scale, going to an F-16, old Tiger Meat markings, 2014 Turkish. And this is the Revell kit. And I thought this one was kind of cool, Jeff. I love the, if you're going to do a cool looking plane, I mean, all the ones in the Tiger Meats are always so cool looking.
Yeah.
Showing off his exhaust there. But yeah, check that out.
That's cool. There's a, and again, I'm going back to, there is a Canadian F-18
Okay.
that was painted up in. I'll have to pull the picture up. I'll pull the picture up for the end of this. But
Okay.
there's a Canadian F-18 that is just, I think it's absolutely probably one of the prettiest paint schemes I've ever seen on an aircraft.
Okay.
And there was a company who made like a limited run of decals for it, and now they're extinct. You can't find the decals anywhere in 30-second scale, and I don't even think that I am brave enough to
try it.
Yeah, to try masking it, but
Well, I'll have to see which plane you're talking about. Yeah,
well, I've got a photo of it. I'll bring it up.
Okay. Well, some of these planes with these, you look at that and that whole back end, it's like a solid decal.
Yeah.
And large, solid decals like that, you can do them. He's done a great job here, but it's not like a little set of numbers or something. I mean, you gotta know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yep,
Because you can screw them up real fast and you get one shot at it,
Yeah.
But he's got them laid down really nice. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I mean, the Tiger Meat stuff. I remember an article when I was working for Fine Scale. I edited a feature story, and the model was on the cover, and it was a Mirage 3, or maybe it was a Mirage 2. I don't remember. It was a Mirage, and it was the entire aircraft except for the nose cone was done in stripes.
Oh gosh,
in tiger stripes. And it had the eyes painted on the side of the fuselage just behind the cannon. And he did the whole thing by hand, no decals. It was all masked, and just absolutely stunning model. And ever since I've worked on that story and edited that story for the magazine, I've always been just fascinated by the paint schemes that they put on these aircraft.
Yep. Well, this is certainly very cool. So thank you for sharing this one with us. And we don't really have much to go on to no scale, but that's not huge. I mean, it's a big plane. F-16 is not small, but remember, this is 72 scale, so that's a lot of detail. I mean, you can't really see it very much there, but take a look at that cockpit. I mean, the whole thing is done very, very nice in a relatively small scale. So, very, very nice job.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have.
It's Brett.
All right.
He's one of my guys, one of my local guys.
Well, he's going to show us a prototype King Tiger. And got some extra goodies on there, barrels, and he's done some weld work and let's see, King Tiger decals. He had to do Porsche versions that didn't have any in the kit, and he used photo etch from the kit, and this, of course, is from Dragon. So let's see what he did with this.
Yeah, Brett does some great work. One of the very first guys that started using both my paint and my tracks.
Oh, it was him?
And pigments. He's been using pigments since, good grief, 20 years ago.
There you go. Well, he does a good job.
I'm looking at both monitors here, so
I got you.
You just have to kind of bear with me here.
Yeah, that's a wild look. Well, he sent us two more to look at, Jeff. So next up, he's got, this is from Amusing Hobby, talking about somebody that does some wacky 35th scale subjects.
Yep.
So this is going to be the E100. And the same thing. He's done a lot of extra work on this. Let's see what this guy looks like. There you go. Yeah, I think this is a super cool looking vehicle.
Yeah. You know, and the crazy thing when you think about it, 88 millimeter gun on a tank, even in 45, was like super formidable.
Yeah.
And here's one with two of them.
No, I love this. This is You know, if you since you get to pick an inspiration each show and tell, this might be mine for tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just super cool.
Yeah, I've always had a fascination, and I don't know if I have one or not. I'd have to look, but they did an E100 as like a tank destroyer, so it's
Okay.
kind of like a Yog Panther version of the E100.
Okay.
I think that's just the coolest thing ever.
Oh man.
So Brett is the man responsible for actually launching SC 3D tracks.
Okay.
Because Brett was the guy that gifted me the trumpeter Geschützwagen.
Oh yeah,
the orange one that's in the shop. That gave me all of those fits and starts, and I ended up printing tracks for it, and then that. So yeah,
that evolved into
it all comes full circle. So it's all Brett's fault.
There you go. Well, I guess I could say thanks, Brett, because it's
going to go. There it is.
Yep. Here you go.
Yep.
All right. Well, 35th scale. This is trumpeter, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's see what he did.
So he did his kit in the ambush scheme, and I did mine as the prototype in the orange.
So this is that same kit because yours is here at the shop in the display cases. Okay.
Yep. Mine was done as just same. Yeah, he did his
just different scheme.
Yep, more operationally than, mine was done as a prototype. It's clean. It's not, and his is more operational.
Yeah. Hey, two different looks for the same machine. I love them both.
And this tank actually existed. When the Allies overran the German testing grounds, the hull had been done, and the gun was laying next to the hull. So they had to basically mount the gun onto the chassis and put road wheels and tracks on it, and it would have been good to go.
Wow. Well, this is cool, man. Thank you for sending this.
Yeah, Brett does great work.
Well, good. We'll hopefully see some more work from him in future show and tells.
I found that F-16 if you want.
Yeah.
Or F-18. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's take a look.
Will it let me do that way, or do I have to? It won't let me do it that way. So I have to do it. Let's move on to the next one, and I'll just let's move on to the next one.
All right, we got Mark up next, and this one is you gotta watch this, Jeff. You're get ready to get blown away.
Okay, hang on just a second here. I'm a scrolling.
This is just gonna absolutely take the cake for everything else we've shown this year as far as the collection is concerned.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, you tell me when you're ready. Everybody else has already read it.
Oh, I know. This is Mad Dog.
1,000 model kits.
Yep. This is Mad Dog. Mad Dog and I go back 25 years.
So, yeah, and I knew you knew this was coming. You weren't looking, so I was hyping you up. So his first kit on the left, 55 years ago, and his latest on the right, kit number 1,000. Look at that. Is that nuts or what?
Nah, Mark is one of the great guys in this hobby. Just, you know what? I mean, he's nuts, but he's nuts in a good way.
Oh yeah.
I have never met anyone, and this is coming from the heart and in a very good way. I've never met anyone who is as enthusiastic about the hobby as he is.
Look at this. 1,000 built model kits.
Yep.
I mean, how many of us have 1,000 kits in our stash, built or unbuilt? And he's got 1,000 of them built. I know, Jeff, it was a rhetorical question. But you know what my favorite part of this is?
Yeah.
Look on the back table in the middle.
Yep. It's a Dora.
This is just, when he sent these over to me, I just pulled up the picture, and I'm just kind of laughing in a good way. You just can't believe and it took him some time to do them, but still,
Yep.
this is just amazing. And this is his. Talk about a guy that loves the hobby.
Yes.
He's been doing
And
it for so long, and he's kept it all, and it's here for display. It's super cool.
I've met, I mean, and I say that, and I mean it. I've met thousands and thousands of people in this hobby, and Mark is probably the most enthusiastic modeler that I have ever met in the hobby, and he's just prolific. He's just a renaissance. Yeah.
Well, the proof's in the pudding. It's right here in front of us. This is.
I wonder if he's actually watching tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're in the room with us tonight, buddy, say hello in the chat.
Yeah.
And actually, let me take this opportunity to tell anybody that is, because I usually get an email or two each week after the show. If you're wondering how in the world people are chatting, and maybe you're wondering, what are you talking about chatting? Because you don't see it. I can pull up chats right here, and if you're watching over on Facebook, most of the chatting is happening on our YouTube channel. We're streaming this to Instagram, to X, to Facebook, and YouTube, but the majority of the viewers are in YouTube. But looks like there's a dozen or so people over at Facebook, but 140 something of you at YouTube, according to this. So, but if you are not subscribed to our channel, you can't participate in the chat, and you might not even be able to see it. I don't know. But if you want to participate in the chat and see what's going on over there, just make sure you hit the subscribe button. You got to be logged into your YouTube account. If you don't have a YouTube account, sign up for one. It's free. They just ask you for your email, and you got to create a password. Then after that, you can subscribe to Squadron TV. And from that point, you'll be able to, there's a button somewhere right below the screen once you're subscribed that says live chat or something. And then when you click that, the live chat's going to pop up over here on the right, that way.
Other right.
Yeah. On the right side of the screen, and you'll be able to see everybody. You'll be able to talk to people. We'll be able to talk to you. So that's how that works, just in case you are not familiar with how the chat platform on YouTube works. Yeah, Byron's asking about, can we see other pictures? I told him, I emailed him back. I said, man, this is amazing. And I asked him, I said, if you have other pictures of the individual models or any other ways it's been set up, I understand that he has actually taken this collection to a show a time or two.
It was at Chattanooga in 2019.
Yes, So,
in fact, here we go with full circle. Mark's collection is what prompted Tiger Meat.
Okay. That makes sense. Well, anyway, Byron, my point was, I asked him, hey, any other pictures you got of the individual models or of it grouped up in different ways, whatever you got, we'd love to see it, because this is quite impressive. That's just a ton of stuff.
Yeah, and those are 8-foot tables, if you're curious.
Yeah, 8-foot tables and 72 scale models. Oh, well, anyway, this is, we could probably sit here and just stare at these pictures all night long. So,
yeah,
buddy, I appreciate you sending these, and look forward to seeing your next 1,000 models, because I know you're not going to stop. So this is super, super cool.
I found the F-18.
All right.
So we'll jump in on that when we're ready to go to the next one. We will.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Stuff. Well, thank you very much. Show us your F-18, Jeff.
So this is the one that I want to do.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I just don't know if I could pull that.
That's a lot of, I love it. That's a lot of different stuff going on.
I've got a 32nd scale Academy F-18 that's sitting over there with a box full of everything. Wow. And the only reason I haven't started it is because I have never been able to find the markings to do that particular aircraft.
Yeah, that's a lot of
and I'm just not brave enough to mask it and do it myself.
No, heck, I know I'm not.
No. I don't know. So
There's a portion of it.
if anybody knows where those decals are in 32nd scale, heck, I'd take them in 48 scale and then scan them up and maybe cut masks that way. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, hopefully you can pull it off one day because that is super cool looking.
yeah, yeah, Mike. I've looked at leading edge and I've run into a brick wall trying to get these in 32nd scale. So yeah, really super cool airplane.
Well, one of these days you're going to run across a set and you're going to go, oh, and then all of a sudden that's what you're going to be building. So,
And that'll be the end of it. Yep.
there you go. Looking forward to seeing it. All right. Well, next up, we've got, and we're moving right along, guys. We're well over halfway done. I really kind of like this splitting the show and tell up into 2 segments. We get to spend a little bit more time on each entry. Robert Beck is up next, and this is I don't have any specific information. I think there's 2 or 3 different models in here. These are Star Trek stuff from the old Franz Joseph Starfleet Technical Manual registries. So this talk about some old school kind of model building here. This is some neat stuff. So let's check out what he's got.
This is where Stephen Cole needs to jump in and
Tell us what we're looking at.
Tell us what we're looking at, because that to me looks like half of the Starship Enterprise, but it's not. I know absolutely nothing about Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it for me is I couldn't tell you what's what and who's who and all that kind of stuff, but
Right.
I love the ships. I don't know what they are. I know some of them, but it's always interesting, especially when you go somewhere like Wonderfest and the contest table. There's literally hundreds of these in that
Yep.
category, and you just go through there, and what the guys can do with these things these days is just really, really cool.
That's right. We got Wonderfest coming up too, don't we?
Yeah. Oh,
hard to
look,
believe it's been a year already.
I know. There's his hand. So just to give you an idea of how big these things are.
Yeah.
USS Federation. Okay. You said it was a Scout class ship. Okay. Old AMT kit bashed. Okay. You know, they're getting ready to reissue the big Enterprise, AMT is, or Polar, whatever
The
flavor of round 2 it is.
the 350th version.
Yeah, the big old one.
I might have to break. That was from the original series.
Yeah. See, that would be one that, I mean, I don't know much about it, but that's one that everybody needs to build one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is some cool.
Because I was going to say the Enterprise D in 350th scale would be massive.
Oh, yeah, it would. Yeah, this is cool. Like the photography there.
Yeah, you Photoshop out the rod holding it up, and that's
Oh, it looks like you're right. Yeah.
That's right out of the movie.
Yeah. Hey, Thorpe, we see you, buddy. Good to have you in here. Chat's working, it looks like. All right, well, cool. Thank you for sharing these with us. Next up, talking about your local guys, this is one of our local guys, Gary, and he has done a 35th scale Jeep and trailer from Tacom. Did a pretty good job on this. Check this thing out.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Got mud in all the right places. Everywhere.
He's got, yeah, there we go. He's got all sorts of goodies inside. All the right fixings for a good model, you know.
I have a funny Jeep story, and I'm sure I'm not the first guy that it happened to, but we were down. One of my hobbies was I used to do World War II reenacting, and I have enough World War II equipment to outfit a platoon. but I was with one of my buddies, and I was riding as a passenger in his Jeep. And one of the things that you see quite often is the guys take their right leg and they put the right leg outside on the edge of the fender rest there.
Yeah.
Well, I did that, and he hit a mud puddle at about 25 miles an hour. And I just had this stream of mud and water and muck go right up my pant leg. So don't do that if you're riding a Jeep.
Won't do that again. This is super,
Very nicely
super
done.
cool.
And that's the Tacom kit?
Yes, I believe that's what he said. Yep, and they're no longer available. You know, I think, and this is partially things that I know and partially speculation, but for a while, Jeep's kits hadn't been available. I think some things in the licensing department changed, and that's not just Tacom, Tamiya. But I think that has been resolved, and I think we might start seeing some Jeep kits again. But again, don't quote me on that, but I'm just kind of watching, because you can imagine we get requests for Jeeps all the time. So,
well, what was it we were seeing in the on the box art? They call it a 1/4-ton utility vehicle.
Yep. So, all right, well, cool, Gary. Thank you. Hopefully, we get to see this at the club meeting. We got our local club meeting coming up Monday. If any of you guys are in the area, come hang out with us at 6:00. You can get there as early as 4:00 or 3:00. And
I'll be down.
Hang out. All right. I'll see you then. Not too far away for you, right?
Yeah, now I'm just going to have to mess with them and just show up.
Yeah. Well, next up, we've got Mark, and he's done the Tamiya kits of the motorcycle and the Kettenkraftrad. How'd I do? Is that correct enough? You know correct. What I'm talking about anyway.
Kettenkraft. See, now you got me dead.
Yeah, now your turn to get tongue-tied. There's all sorts of goodies in here, from Woodland Scenics and 3D stuff and custom dioramics, and I highlighted it in red, Squadron scale colors. So
there you go.
All sorts of goodies. Let's check out how this turned out.
Kettenkrad.
Did he say 35th? Yes, he did. 35th scale. Yeah, when that Tamiya motorcycle and sidecar kit came out, man, everybody wanted one of those. But, it's Tamiya, and it's a cool subject, and it's relatively inexpensive.
I want one in 1:1 scale, but I can't afford it.
Well, you can settle for a 35th scale one.
Yeah, I could do that, I think.
Yeah, this is nice.
Nah.
I like his little, huh?
Oh, I was going to say 2 hands is giving me a hard time.
Oh.
No, it's my first day with my new brain, so just leave me alone.
No, what I was going to say is I love his, on the front right corner of that, the little swampy area.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
And again, we had this, I think we had this conversation a couple of show and tells ago, where a good diorama or a very strong vignette doesn't have to be overwhelmed with large vehicles.
Right.
It's the context of having something going on that's a snapshot of a moment in time.
Yeah.
And this does it. This does it. You've got all of the elements there that even though none of us were, German soldiers, marching on a dirt road somewhere, every one of us has at one point or another in our lives been on a road like that, or a country road, or a hiking trail or something, and you can feel it, you can smell it, you can hear that diorama happening.
Right. Oh yeah, I agree with you, and it's done well too. I mean, the whole presentation, the quality of the models, very nice job.
Although that infantry guy there carrying the MG, I mean, the first thing you do is you take that heavy machine gun off your shoulder and you put it on the back of the Kettenkrad.
He's getting ready to use it.
Well, we have rules, you never walk when you can ride.
He was in trouble. He
Yeah.
was told he had to carry that thing.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Very
Thank you for
nicely
sending
done.
that. I think he's got another something. No, he doesn't. That was Mark, right? Okay.
Yep.
I thought he had a second one. Maybe it's for next week. I don't know. Well, cool. That is awesome. Next up, we've got Timothy, and he's got a B-25 for us to look at. And he's got a whole write up here. You guys can come back and look at um, watch the replay at an hour and 30 minutes. And you can read that if you want to later. But let's check out his Red Wrath Academy kit. Well, Academy, but old accurate miniatures
Yep.
redone by or reboxed by Academy.
Yeah. If you ever have any interest in, the ingenuity of the American soldier, pilot, aviator, read up on the Air Apaches. Those guys were nuts. These are the same guys that put the tank guns in the noses of their B-25s to sink ships, and 75 millimeter cannon and 8-gun noses. And they started out by converting glass nose B-25s and physically welding a frame in there, and then they became hard noses and gun packs. And yeah, it's just these guys were whatever if it could shoot, they figured out a way to strap it to the airplane.
Oh gosh, no, this is cool.
Yeah, and that's a great kit too. The Accurate Miniatures kit was just an absolutely phenomenal kit. I'm glad to see that it's back out again.
Oh yeah. Very, very cool. Yeah, this is seeing this is getting me excited for the Edward Strafer that's coming.
Yeah.
I got one of those on pre-order for myself, and this is kind of getting me excited about it. I love that scheme with that nose.
Yep.
Like that, they use that same kind of paint scheme with a lot of different ones. They'd apply that, and then each plane would have its own name, and then usually have its own little nose art. Some of them were just the bird nose.
Yep. And there was all kinds of nose art in that particular bomb group, the 3 different squadrons. And yeah, I mean, everything from shark mouth to, yeah, it's quite the story. And then guys over here have been mentioning, you talk about Pappy Gunn. He was the CO of the Air Apaches. And there's that famous photo of the B-25 climbing out over a Japanese destroyer escort that's kind of turned over on its side.
Right.
They literally sank a ship with guns. The 75 millimeter, or I don't know if it was that one or if they skip bombed it or whatever. But yeah, these guys were just terrorizing the Japanese fleet.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
Well, cool. Thank you for sending that. We've only got one more left, Jeff.
One more.
Tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, one more.
And look at that. We're at 134. We're actually.
Well, we had a 5-minute countdown, so really we got a minute left.
That's true. And I haven't really said anything too overly stupid. So
there you go. Well,
we're running right on track.
We'll go for a few more minutes. We're fine. But so Crazy Joe is up next, and this month we got a little bit of. Well, we don't have any dinosaurs from him this month. Well, I take that back. We have one dinosaur being killed by a girl. Yeah. But first up, we've got the Death Dealer.
Is this the who makes this kit? I want to say it was X Plus, but
well, knowing Crazy Joe, I have no idea. He doesn't give me much info on his kits, but the kit you're thinking of, it was made by Mobius.
Now,
whether or not this is that kit or whether it's an old resin kit, I don't know. But yes, Mobius does make Death Dealer in plastic in 1/8 scale. Yep. I think it's 1/8 scale. All the rest of their figures are. So, but this is very cool. One of the really cool things about Death Dealer, and this was, of course, a Frank Frazetta painting.
Yep.
So back when Squadron Signal Publications was doing all their, tons of inaction books and walk around and all these other things they were doing. It was back, I guess, in the early 80s when Dungeons and Dragons kind of blew up and became a big thing. Jerry Campbell, I guess it was his decision, decided that they needed to jump on that bandwagon and do a book. So they made a book called Down in the Dungeon. And Don Greer, that we mostly know for his aircraft and everything else paintings, he was one of the two artists for the book. And he did the majority of the paintings in the book. But there was one painting in particular that I knew about from the book that was not in the book, because when the book was originally done and the proofs went out, they received a C&D, cease and desist, from Frank Frazetta, and said, you can't publish this. This is ours. And it was a whole thing. I don't know how far it went in the legal thing, but it cost them some money. They had to pull it. And I've known this story for a long time, but I never knew what the painting looked like, but for obvious reasons. And I just kind of figured I would never know. Well, Lee, who ended up with all the original paintings, and we've sold some of them, and several of them are hanging up in our shop now. One day earlier last year, I don't even know how it came up in conversation, but he's like, well, I have the lawsuit painting. I'm like, you have it? And he says, yeah. I mean, I can't sell it. I can't show it to anybody, but it's here. I have it. And I didn't want to, and he could tell I didn't want to ask for it. But he's like, you'd like to have it for the Squadron Museum, wouldn't you? And I said, oh, Lee, I absolutely would. So it's here now. And I tell you this story because when you see it, I'm telling you, it's the death dealer.
Wow.
It is. If you compare it side by side, there are differences, but it is the death dealer. 100%. It's him. And as soon as I saw it, I just laughed and I said, well, of course Frazetta sent him a C&D. I mean, it's not like Don even tried to make it different. It is so blatantly, obviously the same thing. So it's not anything that I can show pictures of and whatnot, but if you guys ever come by the shop, we've got it in a display cabinet sitting right next to the original Down in the Dungeon book. It is a weird part of Squadron's history.
Yeah.
Because it's so out of the ordinary of what Squadron primarily did and does. So just a little cool side story.
There's no other way to say it. That's one pissed off horse. He is not happy.
Well, this is a cool job. So, all right. So next up, instead of a dinosaur, Crazy Joe, he's known for his dinosaurs and he's known for his girly kits.
Mm-hmm.
This next one is neither. It's a dude kit and a horse kit together.
Oh, a centaur.
Yep. So, but you're talking about usually when the conversation of skin tone comes up, especially if Crazy Joe's in the room, we're usually talking about girly kits.
Right.
I thought this was really cool. I mean, you get that awesome skin tone of this muscle dude, and then you got the horse, and the tones that he's using on this animal is just.
He's got spray on abs though.
He does airbrush, in fact.
Yep.
But no, I thought this was cool. Never seen anything like this for sure. And this is a big old thing. 1/6 big old.
Was it Narnia?
Mm-hmm.
I think
there's some of this kind of stuff.
They had. Yeah. Very cool.
Oh yeah. He's always got some wacky stuff that he builds, but always does a really good job on it.
I'm pretty sure we'll see this at Wonderfest.
There's no telling. No telling. All right. Well, next up, and the last model for the night, is his chick killing the dinosaur. So you get a little bit of the two things he's most known for is his dinosaurs and his girls, and you get it both in one shot here. Oh, I didn't even notice that when I was setting this up earlier. She's standing on a mountain of dead dinosaurs.
Yeah. Probably not the kind of girl you want to ask to make you a sandwich.
Oh, yeah. You're
Yeah.
not taking her out for Valentine's this weekend.
No.
Oh, look, Randy just got here. He says he's pretty sure that Death Dealer is a repaint of a Bowen Designs Death Dealer.
Yep.
You know, you have to be confident in yourself, in your ability to paint something, if you're going to go to the trouble of repainting something that most consider to be an excellent item, like a Bowen collectible.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Wow, look at the scales on those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Joe does great work.
Yeah, and did you notice her look on the right side there? Look at her cape.
Oh, with all of the leopard spots.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this has just really got a lot of different skill set type of stuff going on when you really look at it. So,
yeah,
well,
such amazing work.
Oh yeah. Well, that's going to finish us up for tonight. So, guys, remember, if you didn't realize tonight was show and tell, we kind of snuck this one in on you because we have so many submissions. Look, we're already at a little over an hour and a half tonight. If we had run them all tonight, we'd be going 3 hours tonight. And
yeah, I'm going to fall asleep here in a little bit. So
I say that to say, several of you, I've been getting emails during the show. I didn't know I had something to submit. Please send them to me. And we will, next week's show, when I say half and half, next week's show as it stands at the moment is not a full show because you guys hadn't sent everything in. So please, if you have a February show and tell submissions, please go ahead and send it over. You have not missed it. We just simply had some guys that went first tonight because of how many we're expecting for this month. So send them on over to info@squadron.com or however, I got a couple of you guys that send them to me through, a couple other ways. So however you send me your stuff, send it to me and we'll get them in. Remember, the Japanese Destroyer Buddy Build Group show off is next week. So if you have not, I know a lot of you that are, and when I say a lot, there's only a few guys that are participating in this, but the ones of you who have, if you have shown Jeff your pictures, that's great. But if you have not sent them to info@squadron.com, then we do not have them to put into the slideshows. So you're whether you're in the Facebook group or whether you've messaged them with Jeff or whatever, please send me at info@squadron.com your Japanese destroyers, and that's how we will start the show next week, and then we'll go through everybody else's show and tell after that. So,
why don't we end it with the Japanese destroyers? Because I'm probably still going to be working on it 5 minutes before we go live.
All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. Let's see how much stuff we get put in this week, and we'll put it together. Going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. The flyer for next week, I'm looking forward to you guys seeing that. There's a lot of new stuff coming.
I've even got some stuff in there.
Yeah, it's going to be neat.
Yep.
So hopefully you guys are looking forward to it. So, Jeff, I guess I'll say good night to you and talk to you soon. And
I'm going to try to go get some sleep.
There you go, buddy. You do that, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks for your time, everyone. Wonderful models, and to be continued. Part 2 will be next week.
Absolutely. See you, Jeff.
Have a good night, all.
All right, guys, thank you so much. This has been a lot of fun. We appreciate you hanging out with us and hope you'll be back next week. Same place, same time. We're going to look at more models, Japanese destroyers, everybody else's show and tell. So send it all in. Let's fill up the evening next week and see what we can have. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've got the new Squadron flyer for February in digital form coming out after this weekend. I'll probably drop that about Tuesday. All sorts of stuff to be seen. One of the things that will be going live on our website tomorrow for pre-order is Tacom's new upcoming T28 Super Heavy tank. They're doing 2 versions of this thing, and they're also going to stick a big box together that's going to include a cool little book. But those items will be up on the website tomorrow. We're expecting this to be a pretty sought after kit, so make sure to get your pre-orders in earlier than later to make sure you don't miss out, because Tacom is one of these companies that is doing these very limited production runs now, and however many we order is probably all we're going to have until they do another production run at some point in the future, which could be months or years. You never know with these guys. So that's going to be an awesome kit. I'm personally looking forward to it. Hopefully you are too. But that and many other things are coming. Announcement starting with that one tomorrow, and then like I said, Tuesday when our new flyer drops, there'll be all sorts of other cool stuff that's coming out. So yeah, jump on the website, see what we have, shoot me an email if you need me, and we appreciate it. We'll see you next Wednesday. And until then, you guys take it easy. Thank you so much.